This program is brought to you by Project Success Ministries International. The content, views, and opinion are the sole responsibility of Project Success.
Well, praise the Lord, and thank you for joining us once again for another edition of Project Success Taking It to the Streets. And I'm your host, Apostle B.
And I'm your co-host, Senior Pastor Jolly.
And as always, my friends, just want to thank you for dropping by. Want to thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule and just checking us out. So, as I always like to say, that the reason why we're here, and it is for no other reason other than the fact that we love God and that we love his people. We feel a special mandate to share with you what we know and what we've experienced and to be a blessing in any way we can to the body of Christ. And this is one of the ways that we do it. So in saying that, we do have a show prepared for you today. And we're excited about the show today, and we're going to let ex-pastor to enlighten us on some of what we'll be looking at and what we'll be seeing when we take it to the streets.
Today we're going to be covering Africa, Togo, Africa again. On last week, we showed you, or the previous show, we showed you some of the villages and some of the hurting people that we're serving. We even showed the farmstead that we've adopted there. And we showed you the clinic that Project Success is looking to open over there, at least the building thereof. On today, we're going to be covering Apostle B's here book, right here, Reversing the Curse of Faith. We're going to be continuing on our lesson from our previous show. How many of you went and picked up your own copy of the book so you can follow along with us? Hopefully you got your copy. But hey, it's a powerful book. I hope that it enlightens you on, how to attack the various types of curses that could be unleashed or has leached off of your family. It's important to be able to realize what generational curses, what financial curses that may have been unleashed upon your life that can be affecting your day-to-day living. So, absolutely, I'm excited for this show today, Apostle. Yes. I know that you guys are. So, hey, without further ado, let's begin.
Okay. Well, let me just say, first of all glory goes to God. I appreciate that you're saying that about the book. But all glory and all credit goes to him. Just wanted to get that out of the way. So now, we talked about our last time when we were here, we shared this time together. We talked about what is a curse. And the name of this book is Reversing the Curse of Faith. Because we can reverse this curse. Regardless of what type of curse it is that we is experiencing in our life, or, what has been unleashed on our life in terms of curses, we have authority over them. We have the power over them. We have the power of the living God living inside of us. It is absolutely nothing, my friends, that you and I cannot do with his help. He lives inside of us. So we're going to just jump right in. Just recapping on what we said last week, we kind of defined what a curse was, as outlined in this book. It talks about the definition of a curse is a solemn utterance intended to invoke a supernatural power to inflict harm or punishment on someone or something. So we, determined that a curse was something spiritual, something that happens spiritually. So since it's something that happens spiritually, we have to receive it and accept it spiritually. If we don't receive it, we don't accept it, we don't give into it, we don't yield to it, we don't give it place, it has no authority. It has no power. But that's what a curse is. And they are real. Just as the devil and the Satan is real, even though, there are some that beg to differ with me. They say that there's no Satan. It is no devil. It is no hell. But the reality is, because we don't acknowledge that, because we don't accept that or receive that personally, does not mean that it's not a reality. Does not mean that it does not exist, because he does exist. And we're going to look at it in more detail based on the Bible, so that you can go along with me. You can see just what the Bible says about it. So we talked about what is a curse, and we talked about even the most common kinds of curses. We're just kind of flipping through the pages of the book. We talked about the most common kind of curses, and we said that word curses was something that was very common. When people speak a word over your life, we're saying that this is spiritual. So when a person speaks a word over your life and say, listen, you're never going to be anything. You're going to be just like your father. You're going to be just like your grandfather, or your mother or your grandmother. If you receive that, if you receive what they're saying and you believe it, you accept it, then you're going to have it. So one of the most common curses is the word curse. What people speak over your life. Not only do people speak word curses over our life, we speak curses over our own life.
Yes, we do.
We speak word curses. Even down to, I just don't feel good today. I'm going to have a bad day. I can tell already. I heard people say that. Have you heard people say, that I can tell already that I'm going to have a bad day. This is going to be a bad day. Well, you really just cursed your day. Your day hasn't even begun, my friends. And we're already determining. We're already stating the fact that it's going to be a bad day. So we have to receive this. We have to accept this. And when we do, we have it. Whatever it is that has been spoken over our life. So word curses is very, sometimes, those curses is inflicted on us from our family members, from our mothers, from our fathers, from our communities, from our schools. There are some counselors and some teachers that say things, about us when we're young. I can remember in high school that one of the counselors would not tell me how to go to college. Wouldn't tell me. And she said, well, you're never going to be. I heard her say that, although she wasn't talking to me, but she was saying it about me, that I'll never be anything. From where I'm from, I guess I'll never be anything. But I heard her say it. So people can sometimes speak curses over your life. Although I heard her say it, good news, friends, that I didn't believe her. I didn't receive it. I didn't accept it. Yes, I was very poor. I didn't realize I was poor, but I was poor. But I didn't receive what she said. So other people can curse us with their words. And another type of common curse is going to be your ancestral curses, which, we know them better as generational curses. That curses that are passed down through generations. Listen, my friends, even the world, the natural man, the intellectual man, the scientific man have enough sense to say this disease is hereditary. It's passed down. Even in the medical history, and I'm from a medical background, professionally, but even in the assessment phases or the intake phases, those are very prevalent questions to ask. What is your family history?
Right.
Do you have a history of diabetes or high blood pressure? Because if so, it kind of gives you already
an idea how to track down what's wrong.
Absolutely. And, it already predisposed you to, what could be. It's almost like I'm expecting for this. This won't be a surprise if this shows up in your in your labs, as a fact. So, in other words, ancestral or generational curses is another common curse. So what can you share just a little bit, Pastor, about the two common curses that we talked about? We talked about the most common, which is the word curse, and now the generational curse or the ancestral curses. What can you add to that, that you can kind of help the people to understand better what we're saying?
Well, all I would have to add to that is, well, before our faith, sometimes we aren't aware. You know, we're not aware of these types of curses. It would just be something that is norm, because it is something the devil has pretty much trained society to do. Some people are becoming more aware nowadays due to the various media avenues that exist.
Right.
They call these types of people, some believers or non-believers, as being woke. But you know, as it relates to the word curses and the ancestral curses, as it relates to the word ones, the power of the tongue. The Bible did state that how the power of life and death is in the tongue, and he means that both ways. Life spiritually and life physically, death physically and death spiritually. We can speak life into our day. We can speak death into our day by our confession. It's never been in the history of mankind, to my understanding, saying that you don't feel well makes you feel better. So the more you say you don't feel well, it's not going to cause you to feel better. So that's what I'm saying, that how the devil has trained society to lean towards the negative side versus the positive side. If we want to feel better or we don't feel good, we will talk about how we don't feel good versus talking about how we need to feel better. I'm not going to let this pain take me out. I will not succumb to how I'm feeling today. You know, they call those type of people forward thinkers or woke, you know, but just like in finances, billionaires and millionaires who give to charities, God's system works, whether you're a believer or not.
That's right.
So
his principles.
Yes, his system works. So with those, like I said, those millionaires and billionaires who give unto the poor or give unto these higher causes, they may be using it as a tax deductible or tax write-off, but the system of God of giving will work no matter who gives it. So as it relates to us speaking, those who are defined as woke or forward thinkers or positive thinkers, by your confession, it will be so. Because the power of life and death rests within your tongue. We have the power to speak over our day. We have the power to speak over our family. Curses, whether or not, they're ancestral or word, still has a great deal to do with the power of the tongue. Because although drinking sometimes comes with a thought, sometimes it starts with a word. I need a drink today. I feel like, I need a cold beer. And before you know it, you're no longer speaking because it's become a mental, you see? So that word, man, and we have to learn how to speak to our ancestral or our ancestors' curses and these generational curses. We have to speak to them. We have to identify. We talked about in our lesson earlier how we have to be honest with ourselves. A lot of drug addicts or alcoholics or people who deal with the power of addiction, the spirit of addiction, a lot of those who have reversed that curse, they say this: I had to admit it to myself that I had a problem. Being honest with yourself, knowing that you are having these thoughts that are impure and unrighteous, and you're ignoring them and stuffing them down as if that's going to eliminate them. We have to learn how to identify these curses, because the devil is dumb, but he is crafty.
Yes.
He's going to approach us with these spirits, these suggestions, and all of these different types of things. So that's just what I have to say.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think just want to eject just one thing before we take it to the streets. That the Bible said for us to be wise. Wise as a serpent. We're to be wise. So we know first that it's something uncommon about a particular area in our life. We're prone to a particular thing in our life or our mindset. We don't ever, a person don't ever have to commit a crime to have criminal thinking. Yeah, and a lot of times that comes from the bloodline of somebody in the past in your lineage that was criminal. It skipped generations, but now it's something, you can go there in your mind without ever being, convicted or ever gotten in trouble. So, it's something that's not right about how I think about a certain thing. We have to, like he said, first and foremost, we've got to be honest with ourselves that, hey, something is going on. Even in terms of our speaking this negativity over our life, in terms of our health, we can unleash or we can invite the spirit of death. Listen now, we're going to talk a little bit more about that, because, people would say, well, they died early, or, they had all this life left. Oh, it just must have been their time. Not necessarily. Listen, my friends, God has promised us certain things in his word, and he's promised us so many years in the earth for us to live. And so, when that don't happen, not all the time, I'm not saying that that's all the time the case, but sometimes it could be that we have cursed our own life. We've invited, we've pampered, we, comforted this spirit of death, and he's always lingering. We're going to talk about the curse. Remember I said, where did curses come from? They came from where? From God. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more when we come back. Explain that a little bit more if you wasn't with us on last week, so that you won't be any confusion about what I just said. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're going to take it to the streets.
Hallelujah.
And we're back. And I just wanted to say, we're so proud of our team in Togo, Africa, and Pastor Togo there, and all of the Taking It to the Street team. You can see how excited they are about sharing Jesus and just being a blessing to other people And my friends, that is what it's all about. So I want you to pray about if you have something extra that you want to send, know that this is good ground if you wanted to sow into this ministry. We'll be beginning here this month, the month of October, a clinic. We are getting our clearance from the government there. We're working on the preliminaries. Is that the right word? So we're working on all of that stuff, getting all that stuff together, trying to get all our medications and so forth together. So friends, we need your help. The villages there, they have no medical care. So the clinic, the Project Success Medical Clinic there is going to be a life saver and a life changer for the villages in that community. So, we need your help with providing the medications that we're going to need. Of course, we're buying medications in bulks, with as far as antibiotics, where people are dying, my friends, from a simple toothache, where they become septic because they don't have penicillin or something,
Right.
or just a doctor to tell them what's going on, or just basic UTIs and stuff like that people are actually dying from. We do need your help. Please pray about becoming a partner with us, and we want to send you some free resources that we have. Certainly, we're going to make available to you. I think it's the outreach, taking it to, what is it called? What is the outreach? The outreach series. Yeah, it's a series of tapes that we have, of CDs that we have that we want to send to you along with the book. If for your donation of $25 or $20 or more, and you can get the book for any donations that you want to send. If you want the CDs along with that, talking about explaining to you how to begin the outreach, our suggestion in terms of how we did it, and some things about funding and some basic stuff about outreach, what to look for, how to witness to people, this kind of thing. We want to send that to you just as a blessing, just to bless you, because you're blessing us. Just pray about helping us. Any amount, $5 would help us with the medications. It would help us with paying our doctors. People still don't work for free. We still have to pay our doctors and our nurses and our staff there.
Right there. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But in addition to what Apostle here said, to any doctors or professional medical staff that does want to donate their time,
Yes,
we are definitely open to that.
Yes,
To who wouldn't mind going overseas
yes.
and aiding in the administration of these medications that we're providing to these communities.
Yes.
So hey, if God puts it on your heart to, hey, let me go to Africa and let me help those, or let me see if if it's something that is simple that can be solved just with my medical degree that I know of,
Yes.
we're definitely open to that too. And I know that during the show, our information to reach us has been writing down there below the screen. So that's all I wanted to add to that.
Yes, it would be most welcome. We are planning a trip in February of this next year.
Winter, spring.
Yes, and so our plans is to bring other villages, surrounding villages. So we will do a big clinic on that day. So we can certainly use help. The other thing I just want to say real quick that we're doing in Africa, and this is something that God has given me clear instructions on that He wants this ministry to do. And that is to go into the primitive areas of Africa, areas where has not been exposed to the gospel, don't know about our Jesus, don't know that there is a Savior, somebody that created the heavens and the earth, that is the true God. Don't know anything about Him. We need literature. Of course, we do have literature that we go out with, but we do need Bibles and so forth. Pray about if you want to help us in that particular project. That would be great. Or if you want to do the medical clinic, if you want to just put on there, what you're donating for, whether it's the medical clinic,
Bibles, the small,
or the Bibles. We really need Bibles to share with them in their language. And again, these are primitive areas where that normally don't get any exposure, not any cameras and so forth. We're hoping that we're able to show you a little bit about the village and the people who live there and how they live and how you're able to help them. We want to bring some medical supplies and some doctors there to help them, as well as some food. So pray about that. Pray about that, my friends. And listen, I appreciate you even praying for us. If you're not able, listen out. If you're not able to give, pray for us. Pray for us that God will continue to use us, that He will raise people up to help us, and that we be a blessing to these people, that the people that we're targeting, people that don't know God, that's never heard of our Jesus, that they will get to know about Him. Pray about that. Okay, so we just got just a few more minutes. So we stopped off. What are your last words? Last words, Pastor, about this awesome lesson that we're talking about, reversing the curse of faith.
Well, I don't really have much else to say. I'll save some of it for our next show, so you better come back.
Yes.
But just be aware of what we say, and how we kind of move out here in the earth, particularly us as believers. We have to be very careful in our word selection, because the devil is constantly looking for opportunities to sneak in curses, to sneak in ways to harm us. So we have to be well aware as Christians on how we move around and operate in the earth. So I hope you guys were blessed. I hope you received it, So that's all I have to say.
Okay. Well, as always, my friends, all good things come to an end, and we've come to our end today. Just know that we love you, that we're praying for you, and until the next time, I hope that you meet us right back here, same time, same place, next week, Saturday, 5:30 Central Standard Time. We'll see you then. Until then now, bye now.